Hello world, boys and girls, shine your light bright like diamonds and pearls. You could be anything in this world. Weight on your shoulder, let that pressure like a curve.
Yo, guys, welcome to the Blast from the Past movie podcast. I'm one of your hosts, CJ.
Joe Kill, keeping it real.
Keith Loudon, the youngin' of the squad.
Hi, and this is the podcast. We talk about movies from the past and if they should or should not be remade. And sometimes we just rip movies a new one because they deserve it.
Or we just don't like them.
Or we just don't like them. There it is.
That was for Mike. Shout out.
Shout out to Mike, man. Yo, Keith, welcome back. Always a pleasure to have you, brother,
Good to be
on
back,
the show.
good to be
Yeah, man. So, Keith, you can appreciate this, man. So, this is so funny. Well, we all can appreciate this. So, I just came back from a meeting, and this girl, she was telling us about her daughter, right? Her daughter has the most interesting name, and she's not black.
What?
Right? She's okay. So
Wait.
she's
Is she Caucasian?
so she's Caucasian.
Okay.
Her husband is Asian, right?
Okay.
And you are never going to guess the name of this damn child.
What's the name?
Tiger Lily.
Really?
Her name is Tiger Lily. Literally, that's the kid's name. Like, the whole name is like Tiger Lily Consent. It was a long ass name.
Cool though, but that's kind of cool.
It is cool,
Especially if you're a Peter Pan fan.
If you're,
right.
I knew right off the bat, like, oh shoot, so somebody's a big Peter Pan fan.
Right.
And she was like, yeah. I'm like, yo, you have your child's the most coolest name, and it's not black.
But
like,
the only thing sucks about having that name, she has to live up to that name.
She has to.
Like, you can't be named Tiger Lily and be an associate at Walmart at 45. I mean, you have to have something going on for yourself.
Well, you can if you work in the video department.
I guess.
I mean,
you know what's so funny is too.
But you gotta be a manager.
She briefly described.
You have to run that department.
She briefly described that a partly why that what happened was her and her husband went to a concert and she was dressed up as a Indian princess and he was like dressed as something else and that actually was the day she was conceived. So I was like, yo,
that is not the story I want to hear.
If you don't ever work at Disneyland in your life, Princess Tiger Lily, there is a problem. But she's never showed her child the live action Peter Pan one. She's only showed them the Disney version, the animated one. So we'll see. But that's not what we're here to talk about. But I just thought that was pretty interesting.
No, that's cool.
That's actually cool.
That was pretty cool, right? And I told her I'll shout her out. Hey, Ashley, I shouted you guys out. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, definitely. That's funny hells, man. But yeah, man. So check it out. So we are going to go into our movie for today, and
before we get into our movie, I just want to get our shout outs.
Okay, get shout outs out.
Shout out to England, shout out to Vietnam, shout out to Russia, shout out to South Korea, all you countries out there that actually listens to us.
Yes.
What about the hometown? Shout out to Compton, Watts, South LA, Beverly Hills, West Side LA. We out here.
Yeah, that's right. We don't get people from West LA and all them and hit us up, but we do get some Inglewoods out there.
Some Inglewood.
Yeah.
Inglewood. We got a couple. We had a Chicago before.
We had Chicago before.
We got some New Yorkers.
Definitely. Dennis, thanks for tuning in all the time, man. And hey, Nancy, always a pleasure to always have you on the Blast and Pass. I'm pretty sure sometime tonight we'll see you on their Facebook live feed somewhere down the line.
Shout out to you, Felicia, who just popped on.
Felicia K. What's up, Felicia?
And Nancy.
She just popped on. What's up, Nancy? I see a Magnite Live. So Mike, thanks for tuning in, brother. So today we're gonna talk about the movie Major League. That's right. So if you guys didn't know, we're covering all baseball movies all this month. So the first movie we want to talk about is the movie Major League that came out in 1989. Director was David S. Ward. So starring Tom Berenger.
Tom Berenger. Corbin Burnson.
Yep. Charlie Sheen.
Wesley Snipes.
And Rene Russo.
Yes, Rene Russo.
And for those who don't know who Rene Russo is, her most recent movie she was in was Avengers Endgame. She actually played Frigga. Yeah, which is Thor's mom.
Right.
Thor's mom. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, Thor's mom. Yeah. So if you guys didn't know who that was,
she's an Asgardian, people. She's an Asgardian.
And if you don't know who Wesley Snipes is,
you've been living under a rock.
You've been living under a rock. So everybody else, I can kind of understand Charlie Sheen. If you don't know Charlie Sheen, you're also living underneath the rock because he was like one of the top freaking actors back in the 80s, I would say.
He was the highest paid television star for the last 3 years up until 2.5 Men canned him off.
Oh shit, that part. So there you go.
But they end up bringing them back. But anyway, that's another
Yeah. So Tom plays a character, Jack Taylor, and then we got Charlie Sheen who plays Ricky Vaughn. We got
Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn.
Yeah, and we got Corbin who
Corbin Burnson playing Roger Dorn.
Yep.
Wesley Snipes playing Willie Mays Hayes.
I think that's the blackest name you can give a character.
Willie Mays Hayes.
Willie Mays Hayes, and it rhymes. Like,
Yeah, it did.
I don't know if that shit on purpose,
And
but
then
that's
you
what happened.
have Dennis Haysbert.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays Pedro Serrano,
That's right.
who is the Dominican voodoo believing home run hitter who can't hit a home run.
That's right.
Just
So, Kills, you want to give a brief rundown of what Major League is if you haven't seen it?
Major League is basically a baseball film, like Carl said. We're doing baseball all month of June, but he's they're playing for the Cleveland Indians.
Yep.
They get a new owner who's a woman who wants to actually sell the team and move it from Cleveland, but the only way they can do that is if they have a losing season. Well, they bring up Ricky Vaughn, Charlie Sheen, up from the minors to play for the team because he's got a hell of a fastball. The problem is he has no control. Of course, he can't see either, which you find out later in the movie. But they bring Tom Berenger back, who plays what's his name again?
Jack Taylor.
Jake Taylor.
Jake Taylor, yeah.
Jake to kind of help out. He's a premier catcher, so they put this ragtag group together, and she thinks, well, I put them all together. They're gonna implode. I'm gonna be able to sell the team.
Yeah.
okay.
They come to find out that this was her plan, and they turn their whole season around, and they actually win the whole season except for you don't get to see it.
But the World Series.
The World Series.
They don't get to win the World Series. They can make it all the way to the pennant, and they don't
Right.
get to win the World Series. So here's the thing, you know, Keith, we kind of talked about it last podcast, and we're talking about baseball is one of the few sports movies that actually use a team that's
The real
a
teams.
real team's logos and all that stuff.
Right.
So I think you can still answer this question, right? So one of my questions for both of you guys is, did this movie help Cleveland? Because at that time, back in the 80, 89, the Cleveland Indians, literally, this had to be like the best thing that happened to Cleveland. Because Cleveland Indians were garbage, for lack of a better word. I mean, back in 89.
That's why they did this.
Mm-hmm. So I'm saying, so you think this movie
basically
helped them?
it was just a marketing tool
It-
for the
it-
team.
it-
It was for the movie, but it was also for the team.
I think it was a biopic. No, just joking. Just joking.
Damn.
No offense, Cleveland.
Yeah,
No offense.
all the offense. I'm just joking.
No,
I'm
no.
just kidding. I'm just
But
kidding.
no, at the time, Cleveland was not a great team. They didn't have a great few seasons before this.
Mm-hmm.
The movie came out, and I think the Indians kind of tried to live up to what the movie did because the Cleveland Indians, I think, for the next 2 years afterwards, they made it to the playoffs.
So we can literally say that the movie Major League
It
actually
inspired.
helped them and
I
inspired
think
them.
it inspired them. I don't think it, I think, you go to one of two ways when you're being making fun of.
Mm-hmm.
You either shrink back even further or you go, okay, no, I'm not taking this no more.
Okay.
And I think that's what Cleveland did.
Okay. So hey Keith, do you believe in the whole this is kind of a little bit off topic, but do you believe in the whole call them the Indians, you know what I mean, and not nobody on that team's nowhere near Indian, or
I mean, you mean like what's a better word?
some people
trying to be
lately
politically
PC.
correct.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
And not computer.
Yeah, that part.
I have to agree. I mean, yeah, you kind of got to get with the times. I mean, it was offensive at the time because even you got to think about teams not called the Redskins.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
really offensive. I mean, would you want a team called the Blackskins? How would you? How
The
would
black
that?
faces.
The black faces.
The Chicago Blackface.
Chicago.
You thought about this a couple times.
I did.
How offensive would that be if you had a team?
You know what?
Like that.
My thing is this. Like the Cleveland Indians, the Washington Redskins, the Washington Bullets, which they changed to the Washington Wizards, which is just as offensive to me.
Yeah.
But my thing is this, after a certain point, these teams have been called this for years.
Yeah.
What got into your panties? Because to me, it's a bitch move. What got into your panties that
Wow.
all of a sudden wants you to change the name of a football team, a baseball team, or a basketball team?
Yeah.
What's so offensive now that wasn't offensive when they named the team?
I'm thinking because according to how the times were, you gotta think how it was back then. Like they had all kind of names for people that weren't white. Like,
Okay.
Like you gotta think blackface was common.
So let me ask you this. Not to cut you off, but let me ask you this. The next Friday, the Rancho, the Cucamonga Cracker Killers. Would that be offensive?
Yeah, it would be offensive.
Okay.
But
that's a brand new team though. So you wouldn't go out with a brand new team.
But he was using that because the fucking UPS man or whoever it was pissing them off. He was being annoying. Because, come on, the dude came off as being racist from the get.
I understand that.
Well,
but that's what I'm trying to say. You have these teams that have had these names for years.
Mm-hmm.
For years. And all of a sudden, now you want to change it? Now you got that cross stuck in you?
Yeah, that's true. But we've been getting into a PG era, and we already knew that.
You know what? A PG era can suck a dick.
Yeah, that part.
Okay.
All of it.
And I'm not one to say stuff like that on the air because I'm usually the one that tries to calm everybody down. But yeah.
Okay. Well, with that said, all right.
I'm tired of you fucking with my shit.
All right, Kills. With that said,
tell me how you really feel.
what's one of your favorite parts? What's one of your favorite scenes in Major League?
When they put Willie Mays Hayes out of the stadium on his cot. And that's when they find out he really can run.
Oh,
He's like, God damn it, I'm cutting. I ain't even played yet.
Oh, when he falls asleep. Oh yeah, he's like, it's training camp.
Yeah,
though.
training camp.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember that scene, Keith, but training camp.
Maybe remember this movie.
He falls asleep and like.
Well, no, he oversleeps.
He oversleeps.
He oversleeps. The base happened is he oversleeps, and as a joke, as a prank, they put him and his bed on the outside of the training camp stadium. And all of a sudden, a bus goes by, and he wakes up, and they're practicing. And one of the guys is running from first to second, and he outruns him. Mm-hmm. But he comes from outside the gate, through the gate. The guy has already started running. Mm-hmm. He catches him, passes him, and gets to the base before him. That's one of my favorite scenes. And the other one was when Rick Vaughn sleeps with Roger Dorn's wife.
And
doesn't know it.
And then when he leaves the room, because he actually is rooming
right.
with Jake,
right?
And the wife comes out of the room and just like,
and Jake knows.
Hey, Jake, exactly, and she was like,
he knows exactly who she is.
And Vaughn's like, I didn't know. What would you do, Kills, if that happened?
I didn't know.
Like, what would you do?
I probably would have did the same thing that Wall thing did.
Yeah.
I'd have tried to avoid Dorn all my.
Because that's happening. I mean, that might come up.
It had to have happened to somebody for that to be written into the movie.
I mean, come on. Keith, what would you do, man? Like, let's just say you was in that predicament, right? If you, like, you know what I'm saying? You got caught slipping up.
Okay.
Right? You got caught slipping up. Right? And then, like, I've never met your wife. You know, you spoke of her, but I ain't never met her. I don't know what she looked like. Right. And then you find out that I slept with her. What kind of, how would you feel towards me?
Oh, I thought you was asking me if I was Rick Vaughn when that happened. I didn't think you was talking about if I was Roger Dorn, because I come at your ass with a bat.
But you gave it from that perspective. I'm saying I'm asking from the other perspective.
I mean, I wouldn't even know how to process that. Especially, I mean, I should be mad at her, but then I know you, so I wouldn't believe you. I don't think like he's lying. You had.
But
to know.
She told him.
She told him.
Oh, she told him.
She told him, like, right before she leaves. Because the way she found it out was she was watching a press conference. And they were celebrating a victory, and she sees her husband, right, with a girl go into like a room, and
go in the back,
and they're like hugging and kissing. He's like looking around, and they go in, and he goes inside. You know what I mean? So let's say that was you, and you got caught. And then like right before the next game, right, he's about to leave, go to the clubhouse to practice. She's like, "Hey, honey, I want to tell you something," and he tells her.
She tells him.
That I slept with Rick Vaughn. So, I mean, how would you feel?
Of course, I'd be mad because it's someone I know. Because here's the thing. If I'm cheating on her, I'm not going to cheat on her with someone that she knows. Mm-hmm. That's worse.
Yeah.
If you're going to cheat on someone that I don't know.
That was the whole point of her. That was the whole part of her doing it.
No.
She went looking for Rick Vaughn.
Yeah.
She didn't know that he knew. That's what you're saying.
She didn't know. He did not know that she knew that he was cheating.
Yeah.
But she went out and messed with someone that
he knew on purpose.
So
she's wrong.
Is she wrong?
He's wrong too, but she's wrong.
But what I'm She one-upped it. She one-upped
one-up.
it. She one-upped it. She's
Okay.
like, I'm not gonna get even. I'm gonna get odd. That's what she was
Right.
saying.
Right,
I'm not gonna get even. I'm gonna get
You
odd.
gotta do better than me.
Right. Right.
But my question is like, would you want to fight me though?
As him being Rick
If
Vaughn?
you and Rick Vaughn,
Yeah.
why would you want to fight me if I didn't know?
Just because.
She has some ass backwards shit.
No,
you know what I'm
no,
saying?
it's
Like,
not.
if I didn't know, why would you want to fight me? Kills. Would
Because
you want
because you can't tell me you didn't know.
I wouldn't believe you.
You wouldn't believe. I wouldn't believe you didn't know.
if you never brought your
But
wife
see-
around at
but
any
see,
functions?
Here's the problem, though.
Don't have to.
Rick Vaughn and Roger Dorn didn't like each other to begin with.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
So
Yeah, they didn't.
So for you to come at me and tell me I didn't know, the fuck you didn't know.
But at the same time, like even they, so that would make more to a point if they both they both
I'm
don't
gonna be
like
honest.
it.
If I don't like somebody,
And how we're not gonna meet their significant other.
but I'll have an idea. I would kind of have an idea. So was it at his house or her house?
No, it was at.
Just
It was,
they already just met up somewhere.
They met at a bar,
A bar.
Okay.
and they went back to his place.
She seduced him.
Jake wasn't at the place.
Jake wasn't at the place.
Jake wasn't there, so he couldn't stop them. Because Jake was actually chasing Renee Russo, who was his ex.
And so you gotta remember, like when they first when she gets to the bar, he's by himself at the bar.
Okay.
You know, he's by himself at the bar, and he's just like.
So none of the
and
team-
she comes. Nobody from the team is there
Okay.
to stop this, and she seduces him like, "Yo," and they go back to his place. And she knew who she was. He didn't know who he was because they don't hang out. Like you said, they're not good friends.
Right.
So then why would they be hanging out? I might
If
know
you
your
like
wife's
my white
name.
shirt, I'm a kid.
I might know your wife's name, but how I'm gonna like I might okay, yeah, your name is what?
So-
But she could have lied.
Right.
So how
She probably did.
No, well,
so
she-
how bad was that relationship between them? Like between what's
Jake-
and
I mean, not Jake. Wild Thing, Rick Vaughn, and
No, you're talking
Roger
about-
Dorn. Or
yeah,
between
how
his
was
wife-
was it like they couldn't stand each other? I was like, oh, like he's just obnoxious. I can't stand this guy. Like it was really that.
I guess
bad.
it's more of an obnoxious thing.
He was obnoxious. It wasn't that they hate each other; they were teammates.
The reason why I'm asking because if I really hate you, I'm gonna lie and say, yeah, I knew.
But,
I knew.
but here's the funny
I
thing
knew the
is,
whole
right?
time.
And they're messing around, whatever, and then they're done. He wakes up and she's getting ready. And Rick Vaughn's like, you know what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. She said, my name is, I forgot what her name was in the movie.
Something Dorn.
Something. It's like, Dorn. Like, what? And she just walks out.
Oh shit.
She tells him, I'm like, and he's like, how the fuck? I didn't know. I didn't know. How you don't? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't know. I was drinking. You was drinking. I met you at a bar. You don't tell me. You might tell me you didn't. I didn't ask your
You know
name.
why I really wouldn't believe them? You're celebrities. You guys are athletes. You're on the news. You're at a
80s
press
though.
conference. But this
He
is
played
like,
on a shitty ass team too.
But this is what year is this? 89.
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe it. Now this was like the 1940s.
Let me ask you something. What's Michael Jordan's wife's name?
His new one or his first one?
His first one.
I don't know.
See,
don't know.
You see
I
what I'm saying?
don't
Like you don't
But
couldn't even tell
that's
me.
different when
You couldn't even tell
That's
me.
different if I'm playing on the team with this dude than just being a.
I wouldn't even know. Like you wouldn't even know, man. Like
But I mean, I'm willing to bet Scottie Pippen knew who Michael Jordan's wife
yeah,
was.
Scottie
Yeah.
Pippen. Yeah, that's
Shit,
Jake. That's Jake in this
BJ
situation.
BJ Armstrong. I mean, I can understand.
But they weren't there.
Hey, you know,
You talking about a rookie, like a rookie coming in, you know what I'm saying, that don't know nobody. He been playing down the Pino leagues and shit like that. So Suzanne, there you go.
Suzanne Dorn.
Oh, okay.
So, I know you probably don't. Let's see if you can try to jog your memory on something that you might like in this movie. Do you remember anything?
He's like very little.
No.
No.
Very
All right.
little.
Well, I'll go to my favorite scene. My favorite.
I'm just behind the scenes. I'm
My
just
favorite
cameraman.
scene is literally when almost the last play, and they do that play where he calls it out the stands and he points and he calls his shot.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, he's calling his shot.
Yeah.
And then like they throw the ball at him, and then he like ducks because the guy tries to hit him.
Right.
And then he doesn't even dust off. And he just points again all
Yeah.
seriously. And shit. I'm like, yo, I've always wanted to try. I never played baseball like that, but I'm like, dude, I want to do that one day. Just point to the stands like, yo, I'm hitting it that way, and it's gone. You know what I mean? So that's one of my favorite parts. And
I did that one. I didn't do it during baseball, but high arc softball,
Uh-huh.
co-ed, I did that one time. And the funniest thing about it is I'm a right-handed batter.
okay.
I'm pointing to the opposite side.
Mhm.
First time up to bat, I'm batting 8. I point to the opposite side of the field. Everybody shifts. I shoot that shit right down the third base line.
And that was part of the play though.
Who would have fought?
He bunted, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he bunted.
he did the same thing.
He pretty much bunted, and they didn't know. And then like he raced to the fucking base.
I'm not gonna lie, I did that
facial
too.
expression.
I did that too back in high school.
You know, you did that kind of shit.
That's crazy, man. Like I always wanted to do that and like really hit that shit over
But
the
yeah,
fence.
see, that's the thing, because I knew I wasn't going to hit it over the fence.
And obviously the second runner up to that is when they call out Wild Thing, and then they're walking.
playing the music?
They're like Wild Thing. Like that, like nobody comes out to music like that no more. Like, you got so fucking PG. Come out to something great. Come on, make it theatrics.
Well,
baseball is boring sometimes. Make that shit theatrics sometimes.
That's the funny thing.
Speaking of baseball, right? Did you see the Dodger game against the San Francisco Giants?
Can't stand it out.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, that's your fault.
Whoa.
I can't. I don't like the
Hold
Dodgers.
on. Did you see the Dodger game against the San Francisco Giants?
Wait, which one?
Is it Mox? How does he say his name? Last name starts with M. Mercer?
I think Mercer.
I don't know, but the one dude, right? So basically, what happened was San Francisco pitcher pitched it. He hit that shit clean out of the fucking stadium, and you know, San Francisco Stadium is water. So on the other side, so he hit it into the ocean,
in the bay,
and then he in the bay, right? And he looks at it, boom, he looks at it and watches it and starts walking down to the first base. And then I guess the San Francisco Giants pitcher was mad, like, dude, like saying, like, you need to run the base. Like, why the fuck would you walk and look at it? Did like he felt like unsportsmanlike.
How many walk off home runs have you seen?
So
not really. I guess he thought, well, that's on sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Now you're just boasting and bragging. Like
But here's
if you're that good, I would do the same thing.
But here's the thing that was funny though. The funny thing is when the Giants pitcher said that to him. He said, well, go in the ocean and get it then. That's what the Dodger guy said when he was walking the bases. Then he started talking.
You deserve that.
I was like, yo,
but no,
that's what we need in baseball, this cheekiness.
I've seen, like I said, Dodgers are not my team. I live in LA, but Dodgers are not my team. I don't actually watch baseball anymore.
Who's your team? Well, who was your team?
Oakland A's. Because
you did mention that in the. I heard that. Yeah. I was just like blasphemous.
You know what?
Right?
I
heard that. I was like, what?
Like people they have.
I had to turn it off. I don't even know what happened to it.
But that was back in the early '90s.
All right then, but keep continuing.
But anyway, you know when dudes like, especially game-ending home runs, if they hit a home run and it was like a game-ending home run or it was like a grand slam home run, you had dudes like if they felt it. Ken Griffey Jr. did that shit all the time. Every home run he hit was a walk-off home run. He would walk to first base and then start jogging.
That's true.
But getting back to what you were talking about, how the Wild Thing thing. When we were playing softball, we actually did that. Every time you came up to bat, you had your own theme song.
That's dope.
So
what was your theme song?
My theme song was "Move" by Ludacris.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
Because if I actually made contact with the ball and it was a streamer, you didn't get in front of it. It was like the knuckle puck.
What year was this?
When the first song first came out.
How old were you?
Do the math.
Why y'all young one always got to put somebody's age in the question, man?
But
cold, man, for that.
Our homies. Keith, what would your theme music be?
My theme music? Being a wrestling fan, AJ Styles. Phenomenal.
Oh my god.
That would be dope. I'll come out with and as soon as I hit the ball, they don't want none. I'll just be jogging too.
Well, your theme music stops when you get up to the plate, sir.
No,
because it's distracting to the pitcher. That's not the point. That's not the point.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like I also too am a wrestling fan. So my intro would be DX.
Are you ready?
You think you better? You think you would tell me what to do?
So I'm hard because I was, like I said, I bat either fifth or eighth. That was where I bat.
Okay.
Where would you bat? Would you be the cleanup hitter? Would you bat for?
Wait, come again?
We don't know baseball terminology
I
like
don't know
that.
baseball terms like that.
So cleanup would be the fourth and the eighth person.
Okay.
Because you got first, second, third, fourth is cleanup. So they call it that because you're figuring everybody's going to get on base. So you're the cleanup. You're here to clean up the bases. So for the next people to come up, and then the eighth person is to clean up the bases. That's why they're called cleanup batters.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but where would you bat? Where do you think you would want to bat in a batting order of 9?
I wouldn't.
I'll be third.
You be third.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't agree with him.
Yeah, I get third.
Okay.
So I can see the picture, what he's pitching, kind of like that.
Get an
Obviously,
idea.
get an idea. I think about how a good idea actually, because
Right.
we'll have a scouting report. But
Because after the
just to
first
see
two,
how
you're gonna
things are
kind of
going.
have it figured out already.
Okay.
So yeah, I can say that.
So we named two of our favorite parts.
Yeah.
Right. So nitty gritty. Let's get into the real question while we're here is:
Okay.
would you or would you not remake this movie?
I mean, it's just a fictionalized version of the Cleveland Indians. I think you can do that with any team.
Okay.
So- call it Major League.
So
Okay.
what team will we do this with? Now.
Okay. Well, first of all, yes or no? Would you remake it?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So if you're gonna remake it, all right. Kill's question, I guess, the follow-up question would be: would you want to put it in today's age or put it back then,
I mean,
or you think it could work either way?
I think it can work either way. I would say it'll work. It can work in like 2019 only because like you can. Let's say if it was the Dodgers, I know that kills you inside that I said the Dodgers.
No,
but
it
you
doesn't bother me because I mean everybody has their own favorites.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't. Unlike you guys who jumped on me when I said I like the Oakland A's back in the day, if you like that team, you like that team. I'm not.
All right.
I'm not against
Because
that.
for Dodgers, okay, the last time they won the World Series was what 31 years ago. So okay, so they've been in the slump since then. Yes, they've been winning, but they haven't really reached the World Series. So you can make a
Hold
comment.
on, man. When they made World Series back-to-back years.
Win.
Don't make me look this up.
Oh my God. This
haven't
last year, they didn't win the World Series.
I just said that.
No.
I said
the way you
haven't
worded
won
it
the
was-
World
But,
Series.
but they had winning seasons.
They win
They
winning
win
seasons,
but
they weren't as terrible as the Cleveland Indians were.
No, not at that time. Well, they won prior.
Okay,
before
who's the
that.
worst team in baseball right now? You think?
right now?
Yeah.
I can't even think of it.
Okay. Then.
Probably Oakland A's.
Okay.
Probably-
Probably the Oakland A's.
Probably
Nah,
Oakland
nah,
A's. Who knows?
nah, probably something
The
worse than that.
Giants. I don't know. It has to be something. Anyway.
Not the Giants. They.
But you would
recent.
put it in today's age. What would you change about it?
I was just saying you could put it in today's age, but
Okay.
I kind of like movies like set in different time periods. I would keep it in the 80s. I feel like there was so much more out there, and then it kind of bring the attention to a new audience. Because nowadays they bring everything back, so I'm pretty sure a lot of kids or whoever wasn't born during that time would like to see how it was back then.
I'm gonna ask you both a follow-up question after Kills answers his. So Kills, yes, remake or not?
I think you could remake this. I think
Okay.
you could remake this and set it in any time period. Actually,
Okay. What would you prefer though?
I want to make it more modern.
More modern?
Okay.
More modern. I believe that because you're making it more modern, it's going to bring more attention to whatever team you choose.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that you would pick a team that's been in the bottom of the barrel, say for the last 2-3 years.
Okay.
That would be the team you would focus on and just make it that, because it worked for Cleveland.
That's true. All right, so here's my follow-up question. Since you guys both, and I also believe that you could remake this movie. I believe that you can set it in today's time frame. I don't even think back in the 80s would even count. I wouldn't even do it back in the 80s. I mean, I don't think there's no reason to put it back in the 80s, other than the fact that because they had a team that was that poorly terrible. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I only feel
that.
like it'll work current.
Oh, you guys didn't mention that Bob Uecker was in this movie. Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So here's the follow-up
Was
question.
he a sportscaster? Oh.
Yes, he was
Yeah,
a
he's
sportscaster.
Oh,
so
okay.
here's my follow-up question I want to ask both of you guys, since you guys both think this can be remade. What is it about Major League the movie that you would not take out? Like, what is a staple? Like, if they take this out, it's gonna ruin the damn movie, or it will be a bad movie because they took this important part out.
You must be talking jokes. I don't know.
Well, here's the problem with that. They had 2 movies after this.
Understand that? Well, yeah, we'll
Wait,
get to
this had
that.
sequels?
Yeah,
Yes,
2 sequels.
had 2
Were they good?
sequels.
Well, the sequels in there.
They were okay.
They were right.
Okay. That
We'll
means
get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
They can't take out the owner kind of aspect of it, where she's trying to sell the team off. They can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes it a little harder to make that funny, because teams are moving now all the time.
That's true. So you have to find a different way to
So
do
you
it.
have to find a different way to do it, because here's the thing. The aspect that I'm telling you about, trying to find a team that's, that hasn't had really a winning season, or has had a very poor season for the last couple of years, usually those teams are already sold to another city or another owner and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you can find a team that hasn't moved, that has a following, that has a big Dodgers have had a winning season, but if they hadn't had a winning season for the last couple of years, that would be a perfect team to do it behind, because LA is a huge follower of the Dodgers. You know, so if they would say they had a losing season over the last couple of years, that would be a prime team to do it with.
I don't think you do it with a major team like the Dodgers, though. I don't.
But,
Because
no.
I'm talking about the city itself is major.
But they have a major following.
But that's the whole point, though.
But
The Cleveland Indians have a huge following.
Yeah, they
for
did
a small
have.
city.
They did have a huge following for the Cleveland Indians. What happened was their fans were disenchanted with them, but they still had the huge following.
Okay, all right, we'll continue.
So I mean, that's the only thing I'm thinking of. You would have to have a team, and I understand what you're saying. So you would have to, because Cleveland is a big city, especially back in the day. Cleveland was a huge city for them to do this in.
Yeah.
And that's why I said LA would be, if they were having a losing season, LA would be a prime city to do that with. You know, we would have to find one. We'd have to look at like I said, the last 3 years to see who has had a continuously losing season, and then pick them out of that.
But you're going away from the question. The question is, what is it about the movie? So just the ownership then.
The ownership and the that one star player,
Okay,
like
so,
Rick Vaughn.
Okay, so
You know, like, I hate to bring this up because I know you don't want to go into it right now, but the whole mentoringship between Rick and Jake, they tried that in the second movie with Catcher to Catcher, and it didn't play as well, to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's not major things in the movie, but there's a lot of little things that most people would go, well, we don't need that because that really didn't make a lot of sense.
okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I guess maybe I'm not being clear enough. I mean that's good too. That's a good point. But I'm talking about more or less scenes that are like, okay, like for example, do we take out the wild thing coming up to the bat? No, because that's
You mean coming to the mound?
Comes to the mound.
Right.
No, because that's a hallmark
Right.
of the movie. Do we take out?
Oh,
the
you
part
mean
where,
you mean visual scenes, not just the whole kind of like I said, like the mentoring thing.
Yeah,
you
I'm
mean
just
huge visual scenes.
Yeah, visuals. I mean staples. Like you had like when you go to certain movies, you see certain things, you know it's that movie. Like
Right.
we talked about Sandlot, like, on the podcast. And we
Right.
talking about You're Killing Me, Smalls.
Right.
If that never came about, would you be mad? If they get a remake and they said You're Killing Me, Smalls, like would that make you upset that they never put that in a movie?
I think that's a major point in the movie.
That's what I'm saying though. So
Right.
I'm saying though. So
But
that's the thing I'm talking about.
I don't know if
Just
any,
that one. I mean, I know we're talking about this movie, but you think that one scene would be a major point in the entire movie?
Which one?
Like, go
Killing
back
Me
to the
Small?
last one. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
You think that will? You think that can make or break the movie?
I don't
if they
think it
never
can
added
make or break
if
the
they
movie.
did a remake.
If they did a remake, I'm looking for that scene.
Yeah.
Because that's something that a kid would say.
And on top of that, it's a hallmark. When I mean by hallmark, that thing is one of the most publicized slogans. Like if you say You're Killing Me, Smalls, everybody knows
it
that
came from the Sandlot.
it came
Right.
from Sandlot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, yeah.
that's what we're saying. Like I'm talking about moments. Is there moments like that in Major League that we can think of? It's like, oh, if they never put that in the remake, oh, that's gonna be a problem. Like for me, I'm saying if they never put the whole wild thing going up to the bat and it's a different
mound.
song, or to the mound, then it's
No,
we're talking about,
no, but
you're
you're changing the song, so no, that wouldn't work to me.
Yeah.
The only scene that I would think would be close to that is if they took the scene out where Jake goes to follows what's her name back to her apartment that's not her apartment.
Oh yeah.
I think
Okay, I see
they
what you're talking
they could take that out, and
Yeah.
that wouldn't hurt the movie.
Okay.
That could be implied.
Mm-hmm.
Like he follows her to the house, and then the whole scene inside they could just wipe away.
Yeah, wipe away. Yeah, that whole scene could have wiped away. But I think what can also stay too is the scene where he goes to the house and the girls with the new boyfriend,
Right.
And they're having that little thing, and he's like, when that whole line was like, "Oh, I play for the Cleveland Indians." He's like, "They have a team?" He's like, "Yeah, we got uniforms and everything." Like he says that line.
But see, if you're gonna keep that one part, you might as well keep the whole thing.
That's true. But then, do you think? I don't think maybe that's a staple line, but
I think they could do without it. The only good thing about that whole scene, like you said, was that part, and also when they talked about how when they said, "Well, what are you gonna do after baseball?" And he's like, "Well, I had a plan on marrying this girl, having 2 kids that,
Olympic
swimmers." And you say, "Well," he was like, "Well, what event was it?" No, he goes, didn't you want to go to the Olympics? Weren't you a swimmer and wanted to go to the Olympics?" She's like, "Yes." He's like, he's like, "Well, what event?" And he was like, "Swimming, 200-meter medley." And they were like,
Didn't you run the 200 meter?
No. What did you do swimming? 200-meter medley, and then they kind of put it together.
Yeah. It got real quiet real quick.
Right. So, I mean, like I said, that whole kind of thing, you could do it or you could do without it, because if you did without it, it didn't matter because you didn't know she was doing that when they were together until that scene.
Yeah, that's true. Now, we can talk about the sequels now. Like, there was a second sequel and there was a third sequel. So, the second sequel was okay. It was okay. But it wasn't up to the hype. Like, the IMDb scored the first...
Well, we didn't IMDb
I'm about to say right now. The IMDb scored Major League with a 7.2 out of 10. Right? And I think that's about right.
That's decent.
Was 7.2?
Yeah, 7.2 out of 10.
I'd give it, just for the comedy factor, I'd actually bump it up.
To an 8?
No, 7.7.
You give it a point?
I only give it a point.
Half a point?
I give it half a point.
So, Major League 2, though, I think I want to say it got around a 6.0 or a 5 point something. And they tried. They just tried to go off of it. And Major League 2 came out, in 1994? I want to say.
Yeah, Major League 2 came out in 94.
94. And IMDb scored it.
Actually, it was actually released in Korea before it was released in the States.
Damn.
Yeah, it was bad. I think, so what is it?
It gave it a 5.5.
5.5.
And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 5%.
Which is terrible. It wasn't terrible. They, like you said, they try to do the whole comedy. Jake comes back and he's the
Maybe it was terrible in comparison.
He's the coach. Yeah, it was
horrible comparison.
Maybe it was just a solo. Wasn't trying to attach itself to the first movie.
No,
maybe
it tried to attach itself.
No. I know that, but I'm just saying if it wasn't, maybe it'd be a decent movie.
They try to make it a continuation.
Yeah, it was It was basically the next season.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And they changed out Wesley Snipes.
Mm-hmm.
With who?
What's his name?
Epps. His name's Epps.
Mike Epps?
No, not Mike Epps.
Omar
Epps.
No.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Juice from Juice?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the Epps that was in Higher Learning.
Omar Epps.
That is Omar Epps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they replaced him with him. And
which wasn't a good fit for him because Wesley Snipes played. And you know what? I have made a note over here too about Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes really shows his comedic side on this movie in a little bit. You know what I mean? And we don't have too many movies where Wesley Snipes is being like comical. So this to me was a good, little film that showed his versatility. His versatility. So yes, I did like that about the movie. But the replacement that got being Omar Epps was just not up to par. Like, I'm not saying like Wesley Snipes is this big ass actor, but at the same time, he his comedic timing was just.
I'm looking at it right. I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't make sense. Like, okay, I can see. Let's say he got traded. Just say he got traded and then he replaced him. Why is he playing the exact same character?
He's playing the exact same character.
Yeah, he's playing the exact same character.
Like,
that's what I'm saying though.
So
it's
he comes back from the off season like, damn, your hair got bigger since the last season.
And you know what's so funny? What's so funny is I felt like they should have made a joke about that in the movie. Like, you kind of look different. Like, could have made a joke to kind of hint towards it, but they never did. Like,
so he's the Viv of Major League.
Yes, he's the Viv of Major League Baseball.
And so basically in the sequel, it's like they have the winning season, they get their bonuses, and Roger Dorn buys the team.
But they're doing bad again. It wasn't the next season. It was a few seasons though.
No, it was the next season. He was cutting corners already.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was already cutting corners. Like they had a winning season. You would think they have all this money, but he was spending more money on the team than he had. And so shit went downhill real fast. Mm-hmm. And so he winds up selling the team back to the bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
So once again, they start playing better.
Yeah.
But Roger Dorn doesn't want to play. He plays like he played at the very beginning of the first movie. He's sensitive.
I really thought with this movie, if you do set it and you remake it and you put it in current time frames, I feel like you can do a continuation of the story. I feel like don't reprise everybody's role, but like Jake, Wild Thing, those roles should come up. At least 3 of them.
Right.
I feel like maybe you have Dorn who comes up. He's a coach, but he's a coach of another team that plays the Cleveland Indians. I feel like Jake's son comes up in the ranks as a major league hitter, young, and I feel like Rick Vaughn, he comes back, but it's his son, and and he's a pitcher or something like that, and they all get on the team. Some of that nature, and then to play homage to his dad, you can play the Wild Thing song when it comes out. You know what I mean? Right. So it's just one of those things. I feel like that could really be a great remake or remake, and to that film. So that's one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys is like, what is it about that movie that just I feel like those parts you couldn't take out, but so we kind of talked about what stood out about this movie, and so what basically the thing that you remember the most, and we talked about some of those scenes already. But one of the last questions I want to ask you guys is, where do you guys put this movie when it comes to comedy sports movies? Because this is considered a comedy sports movie.
Well, you talking about the first one or the second one?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
Where do you guys put this in a ranking of other comedy sports movies? So if you're having a hard time like just picturing comedy sports movies, so we're talking about movies like Eddie, Angels in the Outfield, Little Giants, Necessary Roughness, Mighty Ducks, Celtic Pride. Like, where do you put this at, the first movie?
I'm going to tell you this. Most of the movies you named off, I'm going to pick before this movie. Mm-hmm. I'm actually, if you gave me a stack of videos lined up and said, you're going to watch these in order, Major League is not going to be towards the top of the order.
It's not your top five?
Top 5.
It's not my top 10.
Ooh. Damn. Okay. What do you think?
I mean, like I said, I vaguely remember this movie, so I just based off that alone, I wouldn't put it up there either.
Okay, so here's the question though: who would you name as your top 3 or top? Yeah, give me your top 5.
Top 5
comedy sports movies that you
comedy
like. Like you like. You don't put them in any certain order. Just give me 5 comedy sports movies that you actually like.
Longest Yard.
Longest Yard.
Mighty Ducks.
Okay. Mighty Ducks.
6 Man.
6 Man. Is that a comedy sport?
That's a comedy sport.
It's considered a comedy
sport.
Kadeem Hardison and Marlon Wayans. Yeah, that's a comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're talking about sports part.
Yeah. And
top 5. Look, 2 more. Need 2 more. 2 more. I can't really think of 2 more at the moment. I know there's so many out there. I just can't really think.
Well, you think about. We'll come back to you. Kills.
Yeah,
what you got for me, man? Your top 5.
I would agree with Longest Yard. Mighty Ducks definitely.
Mighty.
I would have to tie, and now I got to tie these 2, but I have 2 other movies.
Okay.
I have to tie these movies because they were both great movies. Eddie and Rebound. They're both basketball movies. So I
Rebound with
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Where he's a college basketball and he gets cut down.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Also, damn it, you made me lose my train of thought. Necessary Roughness.
Necessary Roughness.
And I have it at home and I can't remember the title. But it's another
Little Giants.
Little Giants.
That's mine too.
Okay, cool. For me, I put Mighty Ducks obviously. Mighty Ducks. I love Eddie, so I think Eddie should be up there also as one of the top comedy sports movies. And I like Celtic Pride because I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Celtic Pride is a good one too. I do like Rebound, so Rebound's up there. I actually own that one. And on top of that, then I would literally have to put. I like Rookie of the Year too.
That's
as
where
a
I got
comedy.
the movie confused.
But it's kind of close between Rookie of the Year and Little Big League. So
yeah, so I mean,
so there's mine.
But that's why I said Major League is not actually in my top 10 because
Little Big League. Then I'm gonna put it over. I'll put that over.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Can I put Ready to Rumble? Wrestling sports comedy.
I guess so because it's sports entertainment.
Yeah.
So I would guess.
I mean, it's the only one of its kind.
True.
I mean, unless you can count the Make Your Work one, but that wasn't the comedy.
The wrestler.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, what is your final thoughts on the movie Major League?
I'm gonna watch it as soon as it comes back on FX. So,
wow, you're not even.
You don't have to. I can let you borrow it, brother.
Oh, nice.
You're not even gonna go. Netflix. Do you have this?
I know Netflix doesn't have that movie.
Hulu. Do you have this movie?
That part.
Maybe Netflix 10 years ago. Maybe.
On demand. Do you have this movie?
What about you, Kills?
I I like like I said, I like the movie. It's not something I'm gonna like rush home to search out and watch it. If like I said, if Eddie's on or any of those other movies I listed, or The Sandlot, or Rookie of the Year, or Major League, I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna, I'm a Little Big League. I'm not gonna watch Major League.
I feel you, because I only watch Major League for certain parts. And
Right.
I got the DVD, and it's literally I just play those 2 parts, and I'm done with the movie. Like the other movies, I can kind of watch.
And we talked about that. And you like, remember I told you if I put a movie in, I'm watching it from
beginning
start
to
to finish.
Yeah.
I would watch it start to finish.
I think this is like the first movie you guys are talking about, but you guys really don't care too much about. It's
Well,
okay.
I mean, I
I
like the
it.
movie.
It's just not up there with other movies.
Yeah, it's like I said, if you gave me a stack of movies, it's not going to be the one I'm going to rush to watch.
Yeah, I mean, but if it's on TV and nothing else to do, I'll watch it if these are not on.
If it's a hot day, I'm doing laundry and I don't want to
really,
move. Yeah, I'm watching it.
You guys are really treating this movie like a stepchild. I'm really ashamed. You guys should be ashamed of yourself.
You know what?
It is. You don't want to make your top 5.
If
I haven't even seen it.
If it feels like it's being treated as a stepchild,
Yeah,
then it probably is.
that part right there. That part right there. Come on, I don't know, more shout outs though, but hey. I can't see my Instagram feed over there, but thank you guys for tuning in on the Instagram feed and the Facebook Live feed, guys, and on YouTube. So, yeah, that's our thoughts on Major League in the 1989 version, and talked about a little bit of Major League 2 and the I can't remember the last one.
Back to the Minors.
Back to the Minors.
We didn't talk about it because it didn't need to be talked about.
Yeah, because it was that fucking terrible.
Actually, to be honest, I liked Back to the Minors better than I liked Major League 2. That's because they went with a whole different team.
Yeah, that's true. But once again, guys, this has been the Blast from the Past movie podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and make sure you hit us up on all our audio sourcing sites. That's Google Podcasts. That's Apple Podcasts. That's also Spotify. We just got on Spotify, guys, and also on SoundCloud, obviously. And you just search Blast from the Past movies, no spaces in between, and it will pop up. Also, guys, starting next month in July, we are going to make sure we're going to go live on our Facebook feed and our Instagram feed under Blast from the Past movies. So make sure you guys subscribe to that and click the notification bell so you guys can hear it. If you guys are tuning in, that means you get all these podcasts early and you don't have to necessarily listen, but I want you to go listen. All right, guys? So once again, I've been one of your hosts, CJ.
Keith Lattimore, and I was born after this movie.
Joe Kill, keeping it real.
And stay tuned for our next one if you're on the Instagram or the Facebook Live feed, and we're going to go right into our next movie. So this has been the Blast from the Past movie podcast. We be out.
Peace.
The world